Today's recipe is inspired by this cute little Easter basket that I saw at the grocery store. It has cookie cutters, bunnies, chicks, and that may or may not be a lamb. We're going to make chocolate cutout cookies, and they're made with confectioner's sugar instead of regular sugar. So that should make it interesting. I had some cocoa and some chocolate left from a gift I got at Christmas, so I think I'm going to add them. To prepare the recipe, you need 3 cups of flour, 1.25 cups of cocoa, some cinnamon, and just a little bit of salt because it calls for unsalted butter. Okay, this may be the world's oldest sifter. I got it when I first got married. And yes, it was part of the settlement. I got some other stuff too. Don't feel bad. When you're done, you'll have a nice concoction that smells good and looks like this. Be sure your cocoa and chocolate is unsweetened because the confectioner's sugar is going to take care of the sweet part. And yes, everything went everywhere. Now it's time to put things in the mixer bowl. And you're going to want to add the butter that you've let soften to room temperature. And this is unsalted butter, because remember we put the salt in the cookie mix. And you're going to add our confectioner's sugar. Next, you're going to want to put those 2 ingredients together till they blend perfectly. Once that's made a nice creamy mixture, you're going to add 2 lightly beaten eggs and a teaspoon of vanilla. I kind of put them all together in one bowl. And mix on low until they get whirled together. Now it's time to add your sifted cocoa, flour, cinnamon, salt, etc. I added just a little bit at a time to make sure it didn't get too out of control. Every cook should have their own cleanup committee. Mine is got 4 legs and we call him Chipper. When you're done, divide the dough into 2 balls and wrap them in wax paper and put them in the fridge for about an hour. Remember when you had to grease the cookie sheets? Those days are over. Hooray for parchment paper! Once you've cut out your cookies, this recipe recommends putting them in the refrigerator for 15 minutes before putting them in the oven. There's a lot of butter in here. That probably explains it. While your cookies are chilling, set the oven at 350, and then, once the time's up, pop them in the oven. You're going to want to set your timer for 8 to 10 minutes. Let's go with 8 and see what happens. Once the cookies have baked, you can cool them. I like to put them on the back porch. These cookies are already pretty rich, so I made up a simple glaze using vanilla, milk, some confectioner's sugar, and corn oil and butter. To decorate the cookies, I simply take a light glaze. I put it on the cookie. Around the edges was the theory. Maybe a little bit more there. And sprinkle on some colors. Orange looks good for this little carrot. And maybe I'll put some green on top. Try and cover the glaze. Here are the finished cookies. Colorful and a little fragile. You'll notice some bunnies with only 1 ear. I'd store them in the refrigerator until the guests come. And don't forget to taste them before the guests come, just in case there's a problem. Nope, no problem. Bon appetit!